Many people have heard about Morningstar, but few people have heard about Morningstar's Mind the Gap report. On this video, I'm going to explain what the report is and why it's significant. So Morningstar, every year they do a Mind the Gap report, and they look at how the average investor has performed compared to the general market. Now, they haven't released their report yet for this year. Well, they have, but I think it's comparing the 12 months from 2019. But what will be very interesting is how they report next year compared to this year, because of course we've had a very crazy year where the US stock market is still up for the year. Many stock markets are actually up, but of course there's been crazy volatility. And I highly suspect that the gap between what the average investor could have got and what they did get because of emotional reasons is even higher. I've noticed that during very good times for the stock market, when it's just going up and up and up, some people, and even many people, can just buy and hold. Some people do get a bit worried during those periods because they think, oh, the market's just going up and up and up. But many people can just hold. But during periods of volatility, like we've seen in the last year, and to a lesser extent the last 2 or 3 years, people find it much more difficult just to stay the course. And I think that's been shown with Fidelity, who have said 35% of their over 65 clients panic sold between February and April. And I think we'll see it across the board. I can remember during the worst of the crisis, Hargreaves Lansdown and other big DIY firms saw their share price go down because a lot of people were liquidating their positions. So I think the important thing is that I actually do think there's a percentage of people out there, I would say it's probably about 20%, 25%, maybe 33%, 1 in 3 maximum, who have the emotional kind of capability and the knowledge to invest by themselves. And they've been through many stock market crashes, so they know that they can deal with it because they've maybe been through 2008, they've been through 2020, and they're absolutely fine. And they might not like it, or they might rationally think, well, great, this is another time to buy more, add more, rebalance, but they've been through it before. But I think the majority of people actually deep down find it very difficult just to do something like holding positions for a long period of time. And I do think that somebody who hasn't seen a crisis before, or hasn't invested a significant amount of money before, doesn't know how they're going to deal with a crisis before that actually happens. I was talking to a friend about this, and he's been investing for a long time, but in 2008 he had very little in his portfolio. So when the stock market crashed by 40%, it's not a big deal when you're a student and you only have 1,000 or 2,000 invested. But these days he had hundreds of thousands invested, and his account was down by hundreds of thousands of pounds. Fortunately, he didn't actually panic sell, but he admitted he came very close to panic selling, because even though he knows rationally that you shouldn't believe that this time is different, whatever, that's what the media says every time, whether it's 9/11, coronavirus, whatever, this time is different. So he very almost panicked because psychologically he's seeing hundreds of thousands come off his account. Now his account is back up at records. But the point is, if somebody's never been through a financial crisis before, they never know how they'll react. So I do think, from the point of view of, say, a wealth manager or an advisor or consultant or whatever, the biggest thing that we can help our clients with is actually not knowledge alone, but it's also emotions, especially during very turbulent times like we've seen in the last year.